Hi everybody, this is Dr. Bricker here with an introduction video for Physics 221, Spring 2021. So I've logged into the Brightspace course, and I sent you an announcement the other day. About to expect this video actually. So if I hit Content, I have a lot of things listed over here on the left. Here's Syllabus, Bookmarks, those are things that you bookmark, Table of Contents. So in the table of contents, that's where all the material will be for the class. So PowerPoints, Mastering Physics. Mastering Physics is actually where the homework and the e-text is housed. Videos, I don't have any videos there yet, but I will soon. And eventually there'll be a little lab folder here too. So this is where the content from the class is. Let's start with the syllabus, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the book and things like that. So syllabus. Have here, let me make it bigger. So Physics 221, it's a hybrid class, but we're going to be starting completely online. I've been instructed to do that. So at least through January, we'll be all online class and lab. So hopefully in the future, we're going to transition to hybrid. So hybrid will be something like, we'll meet once a week in person. I'll make a video of that and upload it in case you can't come to the in-person meeting, and then I'll make a video for the other day of class, and then I'll kind of have to play it by ear with the labs. The labs will be online for the first part of the class, and then after that again it'll be hybrid, hopefully. I can't give you an exact date. I'm not sure when we'll go back to hybrid. It's just going to be completely online now, but I will give you a couple of weeks notice. I know people have jobs, schedules, things like that, so I'll at least give you a couple of weeks notice before that actually happens. Okay, so there's no in-person meeting until at least February. Okay? We don't actually have a lab this week either, so don't worry about the online lab part yet. We'll get to that next week. Okay, so some of you already know me from Physics 220 in the previous semester. So Dr. Glenn Bricker, here's my email. That's the way to get in contact with me. There's my phone number at Westville, but chances are you're not going to catch me there, so send me an email. That's the best way. If we want to have a meeting, you can contact me. We can set up a Zoom meeting. Okay, so it says hybrid here. Check Brightspace. So again, starting completely online. Same thing with lab. So this is algebra-based, electricity, magnetism, light, modern physics for non-physics majors. So prerequisites, hopefully you've already had Physics 220 with a grade of C- or better. Okay, good. Learning outcomes, again, we're going to be doing electricity, magnetism, circuit analysis, optics, so a little bit of geometric optics using lenses, mirrors, things like that. Then we transition into modern physics, where we look at E is equal to mc squared, for example. Light behaving as a particle and light behaving as a wave, things of that nature. So I think you're going to get a lot out of this class. It's more abstract than Physics 220. A lot of it deals with concepts that you can't actually see. So that almost makes it more magical, though, because these things are real and they're really happening. Okay, so again, this is kind of a synopsis of all these different things that we've talked about here. So required materials, College Physics with Modified Mastering, 4th edition by Knight. So if you had me the previous semester, you probably already have the code for this. So I recommend using the e-text and the homework package. And I'll show you in just a minute what I think is the least expensive way to do this. You might already have the code from last semester. Maybe you purchased the code at a bookstore, something like that. Hopefully you haven't opened it yet, because I think I've got a lesser expensive way to proceed with that. Anyway, this is what we'll be using. So homework consists of Mastering Physics Online problem set. So usually there's a homework set per week. We'll probably end up having about 10 different homework sets. Lab is going to be hybrid, but we're going to start with something called Pivot Interactive Online Labs. And then hopefully we're going to transition to some in-person labs. We'll just have to see how that goes. A big point here, though, is you must pass the lab with a grade of 60% or greater. So you have to pass the lab. If you don't do any labs and you get an A in everything else, you're still going to get an F in the class. You have to pass the labs. So is it hard to pass the labs? Not really. As long as you do the labs, you should pass the labs. So don't miss any labs. Okay, so more about labs next week. We don't actually have a lab the first week of class. So make sure that you're checking in with the class. It's a little weird, because this is online. So it's asynchronous online. There's no set meeting times. I should have probably said that in the beginning. I post videos. You can watch the videos on your own schedule. Don't per week. Don't wait for 3 weeks and then watch a whole bunch of videos. Uh, so keep that in mind. Asynchronous, not meeting at a specific time. Just I'll provide videos for you. Okay. Until we go to hybrid, and then there is a set meeting class at Westville. And again, if you can't make it out for whatever reason, I do record those in-person classes and post them. Okay. More about that'll be later in the semester. That'll become more of a thing that happens. Right now, completely online. Okay. Grading policy. Homework is 20% of your overall grades. Grade lab 25%. Okay, so that's a big percentage that you control right out of the gate. 45% of your grade. You have a lot of control over homework and labs. There's no reason you can't complete all the points in homework if you put some effort into that. Same thing with labs. You should get a really good lab score. Tests. There's 3 tests during the semester, and they're each 10% of your grade, and then there's a final exam. So with tests, I usually give you a practice test, like the weekend before the test, and then you have the actual test. Okay, so more about that when we get closer to it, just so you know what you have in your future. Okay, the grading scheme, I do use plus-minus grades, and you can see here an A is 93 to 99. So if you get a 93%, you can get an A. Now, if a whole bunch of people have a 92, maybe I'll move that up to an A. This is the most rigorous this grading scheme will possibly be. It could be a little bit more relaxed than this. Okay. Very good. Pretty standard there, I think. Now, if you miss a test or you're going to miss a test for whatever reason, try to let me know beforehand or maybe the day of at the latest. Don't tell me 2 weeks later I missed the first test, can I make it up, because you will not be able to make it up. So just keep me in the loop. Treat the class like it's your job. If you have to miss work, you let them know beforehand, not 2 weeks later. This is obviously my job, so I will also think of the class like that. I like to post everything ahead of time, grade things in a timely manner, that sort of thing. Okay, very good. Calculator policy, you definitely need to have a scientific calculator. It doesn't have to be anything really fancy. I have a TI-36X that I've had for years, and that seems to do the job pretty well. So the first test will probably be an online test. After that, hopefully when we go to hybrid, we will be having a test in person. So once that happens, you cannot use a cell phone as your calculator. Okay, so keep that in mind. Students with disabilities, please read through here. There's a few different contact numbers down here, email numbers, so make sure that you take care of that right away. Student mental health and well-being, resources available for you here as well. So all this is here for you. Take a look at it. Non-discrimination policy, same thing. Phone numbers and website. Emergency preparedness, different sorts of things like that. I mean, we're completely online right now, so this will come into play more so once we actually start meeting again. A little bit with COVID-19, you probably have seen this from your other classes. Zoom etiquette, that sort of thing. So again, asynchronous, I provide videos, but maybe we have a meeting sometime through Zoom, so take a look at this. So just email me, can we meet tomorrow at whatever time, and if I'm available, I'll say yeah, we can meet. I'm available a lot of different times now, so that should work out pretty well. Okay, here's the schedule. So we do start with chapter 20, electric fields, forces between charged particles, no lab the first week. So I broke this down by weeks. Monday, Wednesday, and then here's the lab. No lab the first week. More information about lab will be coming next week, actually. But anyway, you can get an idea of the topics. Electrical potential, which some people just call voltage. That's usually what, if you've heard the word voltage, you know what electrical potential means. Current, resistance, circuits, and then we have the first test, so February 10th. is the first actual test. Again, we have to kind of play it by ear as far as will that be an in-person test, an online test. My thoughts are now it's probably going to be online, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. So the first really third of class is current, charges, forces between charges, so electricity. And then we switch to magnetism for the second part. So beginning middle of February, stuff to finish up circuits, but then magnetic forces, magnetic fields, induction, and AC circuits. So this is another pretty big chunk of class. Review for the second test, and then there's the second test, March 10th. And we have the last third of class. So this is after spring break. And you can see during exam weeks there's no labs. So exam 1, there was no lab that week. Exam 2, no lab that week. And then we come down here for the last third of class. So ray optics, wave optics, quantum mechanics. Some really neat stuff. I think you're going to really like this. Very abstract, but very cool also. Okay, good. And then here's the third test, which would be April 21st. And then we have dead week. And then we have finals week here. And the final is over the whole semester. Okay? So how do you actually get into the homework and the e-text? So the very last page of the syllabus has information here. There's a video you can actually watch. I'll leave that to you if you want to take a look at that. So the way to access this is you sign into D2L. You don't go to masteringphysics.com or anything like that. You have to do this through Brightspace. Select the Mastering Physics module from the content area. And then once you do that, you go through and set up your Mastering Physics. So if you're new to MyLab or Mastering Products, you create an account. Probably you already have a Pearson account. So this is all through Pearson. You probably already have a Pearson username and password. Okay, if you've ever had like MyMathLab, Mastering Chemistry, anything like that, you already have a Pearson account. Okay, so once you do that, you select one of the available options. Either you enter a prepaid code that you bought somewhere else, use a credit card or PayPal to make a purchase right then, or if you don't have the money right now, you select get temporary access for 14 days. So there's no reason to wait. You could get into this right away even if you don't have the funds right now. Okay? I'm not exactly sure of the cost of this. You'll have to go through and take a look at it. But don't wait, get the temporary access. Now it's going to give you two options, e-text with homework or just the homework. So maybe you already have a hardcover book from somebody and you just want to use, just need the homework. If you just need the homework, then just get the homework. But you may need the text and the homework. So that's whatever boat you're in there. You'll have to pick one of those. Okay? But don't wait. You get 14 days of temporary access. Okay? So this is how you do it. Let me get back out of here. Back to content. So here's Mastering Physics. I've already gone through here, so mine's not going to look the same as yours. Mastering Physics. MyLab and Mastering Basic. And then at that point, you'll have to go through the steps I detailed at the end of the syllabus and actually enter your Pearson account, enter a code if you have it, pay for it right now, or get the temporary access. So once you do that, this is what Mastering Physics looks like. So Mastering Physics, lots of things in Mastering Physics. The e-text is there. You can see it here, e-text. Study area has a lot of neat stuff there, videos. If you have to take the GMAT at some point, there's some practice GMAT tests, quizzes for you. Lots of different things, so you can check that out. Videos, simulations, things like that. I know you're really busy, but maybe you want to go through there and check out something. There actually is some, I'll just do it. There's some, watch the study area. Worked out homework questions, a lot of different things like that. So all these different things. E-text, what the physics videos, pre-lecture videos, so the author of the book actually makes some videos. Video tutor solutions, working out some of the problems. End of chapter video tutor solutions. Class videos, a whole bunch of different things here. MCAT prep quizzes, PHYS simulations. So those are different simulations from different experiments. So you have that. When you buy the package there, this all comes with it. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all those, but that's there for you. The e-text, I'm sure you'll be using this a lot. Taking a minute to open here. And there we go. So we start with chapter 20 actually. So up here, table of contents. I think you scroll down here. Yep, okay. Electric fields and forces. And then you can go through, the first thing to do is chapter 20, so make sure you read chapter 20. Some pretty cool stuff in chapter 20. Maybe you know what this looks like if you're maybe in biology or chemistry. DNA fragments really rely on electric fields. Okay, very good. Some little stop to think questions, things like that. So it's a pretty good book, actually. I really like it. There's a lot to it. There's some embedded videos right in the e-text, too, that you can take a look at. Okay, so that's where the book is. You go through, you get the e-text that way. Again, maybe you already have the hardcover for whatever reason, and you just need the homework. That's fine, too. Okay, very good. And then we also have homework here. Go to course home. Yours isn't going to look exactly like this one. So the first homework is actually up. It's not due until Wednesday, January 20th, though. Here's what it looks like. Pick student view. You probably already experienced mastering physics. Well, I know you did if you had me as a teacher before. So homework 1, due the 20th. And this is what the first problem might look like. A glass rod is charged to +7 nanocoulombs by rubbing. How many electrons have been removed? Well, have electrons been removed or protons added? So you have to answer that. That's a short answer. And then how many? And you put your number in, you hit submit. So a few things about this. You see this review button up here. If you hit this review button, that'll take you to the exact section of the book that covers this topic. So if you're working on the problem, oh, you forgot something, hit review, that'll take you to that part of the book, and you can answer the question there. Also constants and periodic table if you happen to need those. Now the way I have this set up, say you get the wrong answer here. You have to provide the number, you get the wrong answer. You have an unlimited amount of chances to answer this. So you can set it up, I could set it up like 6 chances and then you can't get it. This is unlimited. So don't spend all day working on one problem. Usually it's a calculator issue or something like that that will stump you. Put a good effort into it, but if you absolutely can't get it, send me an email and then we can talk about what might have happened there. Okay? Excellent. So the other thing about this, it's due on the 20th. If you're a day late, then you get 10% marked off. 2 days late, 20% marked off. So the most you can get is 80% of the correct number there. All the way down to after 5 days, it's 50%, and it stays at 50%. So maybe in 2 months you remember, oh, I forgot to do the last 3 problems of homework 1. You can still go back and do those and get up to 50% credit for the ones that you missed. Now the ones that you answer on time, you'll get full credit for those. Okay? Request answer. Don't hit request answer. If you hit request answer, that means you surrender, you give up, and they'll give you the answer. It's not going to give you another question to work on. There's some math online ones that if you say request answer or something similar, it will actually give you a whole other problem to work on from scratch. This doesn't work that way. Request answer means here, you give up, you're not going to get any points at all. So never hit request answer. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm back here now. So that's the homework. So what do you get from mastering? Well, the e-text is there. Um, the homework is obviously there. And the study area is there for you. So lots of different things. Let me go back to the actual class now. Back to the table of contents. Okay, so this is a Brightspace table of contents. We've got PowerPoints here. So take a look at the PowerPoints. We're starting with chapter 20. So I put several of these all the way already up here. And these are we're gonna go through these right in order. Okay, so I'll make some videos covering the content also, but to get started in the class, what should you do? Definitely get in there, hit the Mastering Physics link, get in there. They have access to the homework, to the e-text. Go through the PowerPoint, read chapter 20, and then start working on the homework. So that's really the goal for this week. Get into Mastering Physics, acquaint yourself with where different things are located, PowerPoints, Mastering Physics videos, things like that. Now, if you have any problems getting into mastering, send me an email. I don't want you to spend 6 hours getting frustrated trying to get in here. It should be pretty seamless. Now, the first week of classes, Pearson's can be kind of busy, so don't worry too much about it. Definitely get in there as soon as possible. Monday. That's what you should do Monday. But if you're having some strange problem or whatever, let me know. Now, again, do not go to masteringphysics.com and do this. You have to go to Brightspace and do it that way. Okay? Well, any questions, send me an email. My email's in the syllabus. Let's get off to a good start and look for brighter days towards the end of the semester where we're actually meeting in person. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.